have turned that a little bit too far. You know, we are actually going to fix that right now. I adjusted my hood mirrors a little bit this morning during my pre-trip, and one of them is definitely not where I wanted. Hazard lights. Let me go fix that. It's windy out there. Oh, that's much better. Now I can actually see the side of my truck in it. There we go. Whew. And hey, by coincidence, that let all that traffic clear. So now we have a much easier time emerging out onto the highway. All right. We have 8 hours on the clock. I think I've got a little over 10 total to work today. We got 523 miles to go, which is about, pessimistically, is about 10 hours and 30 minutes. Optimistically, is about 8 hours and 40 minutes. So realistically, it'll probably be somewhere around 9 hours and 30 minutes. 9 hours and 40 minutes maybe, which should be within our reach. So my pessimistic range calculations are what I give dispatch, and that's based on 50 mile an hour average speed, which is a pretty good average speed to use up here in Montana because of all the hills, and we're quite heavy. The optimistic range, which is what I kind of give myself as how many hours I expect to use in a day, is that is going to be closer to 60 mile an hour, even though this truck's governed at 65. And we typically run at about 58. But today, since we're a little bit low on our 70, we're going to bring it up to 65. For now. As we get closer to Cheyenne, we'll probably bring it down. It's also going to be real windy today, so I'm sure there's going to be areas where we have to turn it down anyway. So while we can, I want to keep it turned up nice and high. And we got just far enough east last night to not have to worry about the wind event here in Montana, which is happening about 5 to 8 miles behind us in Big Timber. We're in Greycliff, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. Greycliff, Montana. Spent the night at that rest area. I was looking at my GPS tracks because I have an app on my phone that tracks everywhere I go when I have it turned on. Sometimes I forget to enable it, or if I haven't opened it recently enough, the phone will automatically suspend the app to save battery power, which is annoying, and I thought I had that feature turned off, but it still manages to happen often. But yeah, as long as I keep it relatively active, it tracks everywhere I go and just draws a line on the map in every location I've been. And I was looking at that rest area, and I have never drawn the line on the bit of freeway that goes past the rest area. Every time I've had that app active and driven through here, I have stopped at that rest area every single time. On the westbound side, I have both stopped at the rest area and gone past it. So I've got the westbound side of the freeway mapped, but I don't have eastbound. Apparently that's a place I like to stop and use the bathroom. So opted to sleep there last night. We got down to about an hour left on my clock, and when we got here, and I was like, I really don't think I have enough time to get to Billings from here with only an hour, which is, it's like 70 miles, yeah. So I didn't have enough time to get to Billings, and I didn't want to risk Columbus being full, even though there is one more rest area past Columbus. That one's often closed, and they're calling for some fire weather today with the wind. So I really didn't want to be at that rest area because it's kind of up in the mountains where you can get some wildfires happening, whereas this one's just down on the ground. next to the cliff, so a little less likely to burn down if there is a fire. So we opted to stay at this one just because it was nice and safe and had tons of parking. And it's never a bad thing to bank an extra hour on your clock for the next day when you're going to be able to use it. Oh no, poor deer. Oh, another one. Alright, we need to keep our eyes peeled. This is apparently a high volume deer crossing. That was 2 in less than half a mile. I don't see any. There was one sleeping by the fence in the rest area, which I left him alone. I'm not entirely sure he was alive. I whistled to him and he didn't move, so... He was maybe just a very deep sleeping deer. I don't know. But it was curled up next to the fence, on the far side of the fence from the rest area, a little bit up the hill. So that's 3 I've seen just this morning, potentially none of them alive. So certainly a dangerous place to be a deer. Poor deer. I don't know if this is like common knowledge outside of like Montana and the western states, but most of the deer have COVID. Which is... it shouldn't be funny. It should not be funny to me, but it is. And it's sad. You know, we did such a bad job of containing it that the deer have it now. I don't think they suffer from it as badly as humans do, but a lot of them have it. So, yeah, congratulations. We did such a bad job of managing that pandemic that there's an animal reservoir now. That's a thing. That's a thing. So yeah, there's like billboards and stuff up here begging hunters to properly dispose of deer carcasses to help prevent COVID from spreading in the deer population. But it's, yeah, that's a fun new twist on the pandemic, if you weren't paying attention to that one. Certainly a very different pandemic experience from San Jose, where it's just like so many of the people around you probably have it. I think I prefer the deer having it. The deer are afraid of me. Other people aren't. Oh, well. Oh, it is getting a little breezy here. Probably see the nose of the truck wobbling a bit. So, oh, there's another one. Oh, it was a buck. So yeah, I'm probably going to stop and grab some food in Billings itself, just because there's not a ton of options from Billings down to like Buffalo. In Buffalo, there's a McDonald's I can get to with a truck, because it's right next to a truck stop. And then in Sheridan, I think there's like a Subway I can get to, but it looked closed when I stopped there the other night. I spent the night there like 4 or 5 days ago, and the gas station with the Subway in it that was near the rest area looked closed. So that might not be an option anymore. I don't know. I think there is a little truck stop in Sheridan. I could try that, but I don't know what kind of food they have. I don't think I've spent the night there recently. I remember stopping there at least once, but it was like the middle of the night, so I think all I got was like Gatorade and a bag of chips or something. It's that truck stop is in American Truck Simulator as well. If you get up to Sheridan, they did in fact render that truck stop. It's relatively new. I remember it getting built like 2017, 2018 maybe. Decent amount of parking too. So typically, if I'm stopping in Sheridan, I'm stopping at the rest area or the way station. I haven't really had much excuse to spend the night at the truck stop. Because typically, I mean, all 3 of them are within a few miles of each other, so generally I stop and hit one, then the other, and then the other. So if I'm coming from the north, I hit the way station first and wind up sleeping there. If I'm coming from the south, I hit the rest area first and wind up sleeping there because neither of them are ever full. So I never have a reason to hit the truck stop because it's in the middle. And also, I think the most likely to be full of any of the three. Because most truckers prefer to sleep at truck stops. Weird. I know. Alright, what do we got on the sign? What do we got on the sign? Seatbelt save lives. Click it or ticket. Buckle up. It's very repetitive. It says the same thing 3 times over. Click it or ticket. Buckle up. Seatbelt save lives. I mean, good information, but I've never met anyone that was convinced by one of those signs to wear their seatbelt. And nothing on the pre-pass, so we're going in. Alright, cruise control off. Signal right. Engine brakes. Welcome to Billings, time to weigh. And some actual brakes in here. Transmission getting a little confused. Alright, complete stop, 3 miles an hour across the scale. On the scale. Tandem's off the scale. Nothing. 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 All right. I guess they don't want to see me today. I'm surprised he didn't ask me to stop on the scale. I'm awfully close to maximum gross. I think my trailer axle is at like 33,900 something. Signal left. There's a pickup truck that just really hasn't figured out that I'm about to merge onto the highway, and he's just about to end up next to me. So we're just gonna... There he goes. Alright, he figured it out finally. He finally did the vector math in his head and moved over. Cool, thank you, buddy. And set cruise at 58 through the city of Billings. Speed limit here is 65, and I really don't want to be doing full speed through Billings. Kind of a similar situation to Butte, where there's a lot of on and off ramps, but here it's less the ramps are short and more there's just a lot of traffic sometimes. So we'll keep our speed down just to accommodate the traffic. We'll do 58 through this town instead of 55. Don't want Portland in Montana? Oh. I like Portland. It was a political billboard that I did not realize was political until I was halfway through reading it aloud. Alright, let's see. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty Yeah, we're gonna stop here and have some breakfast. What time is it anyway? 9:50 a.m. Coming up on 10 o'clock. I wonder if I can get McNuggets this early. That would be nice. I wouldn't have to stop very long. Just like grab a thing of like 20 McNuggets and just set it on the dashboard and munch as I drive. McNuggets are great for driving and eating at the same time because they're just like tiny and bite-sized. McNuggets and popcorn chicken are just like the perfect driving snack for me. Though Sonic popcorn chicken much more conducive to being in a cup holder than McDonald's McNuggets. Because Sonic actually puts them in a cup holder shaped container because they understand why people are stopping at a drive-in.
In 1.5 miles, keep to the right on I-90 East.
There we go. I was really hoping that guy was gonna get that light to change before I got here. Oh well. Sometimes. 14.4. Good, we'll fit. Yeah, we've got a 14-foot trailer today. I don't think I mentioned that. So, being a little extra cautious about low clearances. Just because I'm so used to driving around with a 13.6 trailer, and all the places that I know, I've only been in and out of them with 13.6 trailers. So it's like, you know, pay extra attention, just in case. Make sure we don't rip the roof off a trailer or anything. So I like my job and I want to keep it. Oh, look at how dinged up that bridge is too. Apparently plenty of folks have not entirely read the sign. No right turn, no problem. We want to go left on the frontage road. Nobody oncoming, and cross traffic has a stoplight. Or stop sign. I appreciate that they've added even more signs. Let's see here. We're going to pop on in here at the second entrance, like the sign says. Nope, I do not want engine brakes right now. Thank you. Fantastic. I see a really good parking spot. So we're not going to fuel here because Pilot Flying J is not a Wilson Logistics approved fueling location, which makes me sad because I like Pilot Flying J's. But apparently they do not do, apparently they have not done us particularly well on the fuel discounts. So we don't get to fuel here, which is okay. I mean, TA, Petro, and Loves have their charm. Oh, I do love it when they're easy. And no cattle haulers down here today. That's usually why I don't park at this end of the parking lot. Is there's often 3 or 4 cattle haulers parked down here. So this end of the parking lot tends to be a little smelly. And we're just gonna pop that into neutral. And stop. Alright, I'm gonna go grab some food and we're gonna hit the road again. I'll probably see y'all somewhere in Wyoming. Alrighty, we are making good time. We've got about 3 hours and 45 minutes left on my clock. And about 170 miles to go. The problem is, like, that's totally doable. Totally doable. Unfortunately, there is at one point a 45-mile-an-hour crosswind right around a town called Chugwater. So we might have to stop before we get there. We're super heavy. Like, we're like right up at max gross. We're at like 79,500 pounds. So I should be okay, but we're gonna have to slow down a lot once we hit that particular windy bit. Hi. Why were you so afraid of me? I was like almost put a wheel in the dirt as he was going past. Oh no, he's just doing that. All right, that's just how he drives, I guess. Well, the sun's starting to go down, so hopefully that will mean the winds will die down at least a little bit. Because usually once the sun is like the main driver of some of the winds, so once that energy source is taken away, sometimes they chill out a little bit. But you know, if the setup is good enough for the crosswinds, then it'll just keep going right into the night, because it's the downslope winds are the problem off of the mountains. And the sun only helps so much. And then you've got the whole can't see anything complication. Like, at least during the day you can kind of see debris going when you've got a big gust coming in, so you have like a second to react at least sometimes. We'll be careful. We'll be real careful. We'll take it nice and easy as we get to Chugwater. I'll keep the weather radio on when I'm not recording, just to kind of supervise the situation. Make sure I am not driving into anything worse than what the 3 o'clock report was. 4 o'clock report, sorry. I know what time it is. It's currently 4:38 p.m. 16:38 for those of you that do the 24-hour clock, which makes much more sense than the 12-hour clock. But for some reason, Americans don't like it. Except the military. The military loves it. I'm in a weird mood. I don't know why. At least we got this lovely sky up above us. Those nice pastel pinks and oranges from the sunset off to our right. It's one of my favorite things about driving through Wyoming is you get some really spectacular sunsets, even when you're not actually looking at the sunset. Just the colors you get in the sky overhead every single night are astounding. Like behind us, it is even better. I wish I could show you. You'll have to take my word for it, because I only have one GoPro and I can't reach it while I'm driving. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. It would be difficult. And you'd get a lot of microphone noise, because there's no way I'd be able to move that without bumping the microphone a bunch. Because the microphone is attached to the camera now. Because the camera finally has cold shoe mounts on it. Hello, big tanker. With something flammable. You are clear to the right. Gosh, that should tell you right there how good my LEDs are. I actually saw the flash on the road for blinking my lights, even with the sun still up. LEDs, very fancy, very good lights. Sometimes the oncoming traffic is not as big a fan, but I like them. How fast is he going? Oh, he's only doing 64. Alright, that's alright. My engine brakes seem to be able to handle that just fine. Yeah. brakes will keep us off him until we get to the bottom. Then he'll accelerate away from us. My cruise is only set at 58, but we can go a little faster downhill, and that's why we're catching up with him. But thankfully, we've got adaptive cruise control, sees that he's in front of us, and keeps us from overspeeding and catching up and colliding. I like to think I would have stepped in before we hit. Usually. Oh gosh, why am I in a weird mood? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just happy to be back on the road, have my own truck, a Freightliner again, hauling cargo, making money, recording videos, talking to nobody except the 50 people on YouTube that'll watch this. Hi, YouTube. Oh, it's nice to be back. It is nice to be back. But yeah, I will see you guys in the morning when we do our delivery. Hopefully it'll be a more interesting day than just the one stop. But if it is just the one stop, we're going to record a bunch of video just to make it work. You know? We'll try to make it interesting. I have not done a delivery in Cheyenne proper before. I've only been to the Walmart DC on the edge of town. Well, also I've been to a little produce place when the Walmart DC decided their apples were not big enough, and then, Brian would just sell the apples to the little produce place around the corner. So I've been there, but that's just off 180, so it doesn't really feel like I got into downtown, but this is like downtown we're delivering to. So, could be fun. I will see you all in the morning for that, and thank you all so much for watching. My name is Ellie O'Dare. You can find me on the internet at Ellie O'Dare. At Xbox Live, Steam, Nintendo Switch, etc. Twitter, also, great place to get a hold of me. I check Twitter pretty much anytime I'm not driving. Oh, also, if you happen to also be a truck driver, check out Hat 6, which is the truck stop we were just at when I started the recording as soon as we left it. It's back there in Evansville, not to be confused with Evanston. Evansville is near Casper. It's basically Casper. Yeah, so Hat 6, Casper, Wyoming, great little truck stop. They have a whole shelf of different hot sauces and mustards and ketchups that are all made here in Wyoming from a bunch of different Wyoming sauce manufacturers, including one that's just called the Wyoming Sauce Company that makes this great buffalo sauce called Bold Faithful. And in the 2 years since I've been up here last, they have added... They've basically made the shelf like 3 times the size it was last time I was there. And so there's much more stock, much more variety. And got some real interesting new spicy mustard I have never tried before that I'm looking forward to giving a shot. As well as a couple bottles of the Bold Faithful buffalo sauce from the Wyoming Sauce Company that I enjoy so much. I like that stuff so much I actually ordered some online during the pandemic in California. So just to tell you how much I like that. But yeah, they just sell it at that truck stop. So if you happen to enjoy a good hot sauce, check that out. And have a great day. Bye! Parking area, 700 something feet. Just 700, 750, 750 feet. Not today. Not today. Or tonight. Or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow.